Namaste, my name is Vishali and I am a full-timer with AARSHAVIDYASAMAJAM. I began as a student and went on to be a disciple of Guru Acharya Shri K.R. Manojji, the founder and director of AARSHAVIDYASAMAJAM, under whom I have been learning and practicing for the last 5 years. At AARSHAVIDYASAMAJAM, we impart classes and courses on Adhyatmika Shastram comprising Sanathana Dharma and comparative religion, Bharatiya Samskriti, Yoga Vidya and programs for students' excellence at various levels. We enable anyone who is interested, irrespective of their religion, political affiliation, language, gender, to learn about Sanathana Dharma. Parallelly, we also interact with and counsel those who have either converted or inclined towards Islam, Christianity or other ideologies and have become anti-Hindu, in most cases anti-social and anti-national, and facilitate them to return to Sanatana Dharma if they want to. In this video series, I will be answering questions from key areas that every Hindu must know. I have had a first-hand experience of Islamic indoctrination and I learned about real Sanatana Dharma through AARSHAVIDYASAMAJAM. I will be discussing the questions that the religious conversion forces use to mislead Hindus and make them question their faith and turn them anti-Hindu, convert them into Islam and radicalize them, and the answers to such questions which I imbibed from my Guru Acharya Shri K.R. Manojji and the courses organized by AARSHAVIDYASAMAJAM. The root cause of why Hindus are easily prone to religious conversions is because we Hindus lack understanding about our own Dharma, which is Sanatana Dharma. What is being practiced today is a polluted and degraded ideology which is the result of centuries of ignorance of our own people. It was fueled and exploited by the foreign invaders and missionaries. Most Hindus today do not know that the real name of our Dharma is Sanatana Dharma, and the authentic source to learn about Sanatana Dharma is through the Aarsha Guru Paramparas. In the recent centuries, dharmic learning has been reduced to mere discourses on the Puranas or memorizing and reciting shlokas from texts such as the Bhagavad Gita. And most of these Puranic stories are ridiculous and unreasonable, insulting the very concept of God. We lack a proper source to learn Sanatana Dharma and lack a system to inculcate dharmic education from a young age, whereas Muslims and Christians are exposed to their religious teachings, whether good or bad, from a young age through their madrasas and Sunday schools. That is why Hindus grow up with a lack of confidence and embarrassment about Dharma and are an easy prey to religious conversions achieved through various means. The religious conversion forces are banking upon this lack of awareness about their Dharma, widely prevalent amongst Hindus, to deceive and manipulate them into Islam through various strategies. A convert becomes averse to Hindu Dharma and starts looking down upon anything that is Hindu. So in this series of videos, we will be debunking one misconception at a time by discussing the Sanatana Dharma point of view and the Islamic point of view and comparing both of them. In later videos, we will be answering several general questions regarding the threat that is religious conversions. When I started working in IT after college, coincidentally I was surrounded by a couple of Muslim colleagues who used to initiate discussions on religious topics every chance they got. They projected Islam as the perfect religion and ridiculed Hinduism. They mocked the caste-based division of society, they mocked Hindu deities, they mocked the diversity of customs within Hinduism, they mocked everything. Initially, I would not bother to answer them or defended Hinduism using vague counters just to avoid talking about it. But these unanswered questions made sense and it created a turbulence in my mind. And I started losing confidence in being a Hindu. And my belief in Hinduism began to falter. They could sense this, and this is where they started injecting Islam. They mislead people into believing that Islam is the perfect religion by portraying monotheism, brotherhood, status for women, Muhammad being an ideal human, etc. So I gradually started developing a pro-Islamic mindset and disliking Hinduism. But Islam is not at all what they claim it to be. As wolves in sheep's clothing, they hide an unreasonable and inhuman ideology behind superficial allurements, fancy terms, promise of rewards in an imaginary heaven, and fear of punishment in an imaginary hell. They talk about status for women, but Muslim women themselves have a very inferior position in Islam. They're equated to harvest producing fields. Their witness has half value. They don't have equal inheritance rights as men.
Quran, chapter 2, verse number 223. Your wives are a place of cultivation, that is, sowing of seed for you. So come to your place of cultivation, however you wish, and put forth righteousness for yourselves. And fear Allah, and know that you will meet Him, and give good tidings to the believers. This verse clearly means that women are nothing but child producing objects, and the man can approach her for sexual intercourse in order to impregnate her at his will, even without her consent or interest. Quran, chapter 2, verse number 282. And bring to witness 2 witnesses from among your men. And if there are not 2 men available, then a man and 2 women from those whom you accept as witnesses, so that if one of them, that is, the women, errs, then the other can remind her. Here, it is said that the witness of women has only half value as that of men, and it is also misogynistic in saying that women could err and men can't. Quran, chapter 4, verse number 11. Allah instructs you concerning your children, that is, their portions of inheritance. For the male, what is equal to the share of 2 females. It's clear from the verse that women can inherit only half of what their male counterparts can.
They talk about brotherhood, but it's only amongst people who are Muslims. Islam strictly teaches that Muslims must not befriend non-Muslims and how non-Muslims must be treated.
Quran, chapter 3, verse number 28. Let not believers take disbelievers as allies, that is, supporters or protectors, rather than believers. And whoever of you does that has nothing, no association with Allah, except when taking precaution against them in prudence. And Allah warns you of Himself, and to Allah is the final destination. Quran, chapter 4, verse number 144. O you who have believed, do not take the disbelievers as allies instead of the believers. Do you wish to give Allah against yourselves a clear case? In fact, these are merely Muhammad's words, but he employs his imaginary God concept Allah in order to gain acceptance.
Muhammad created such bogus concepts in the 7th century for his selfish interests and employs rewards and fear to grow the religion he created in the name of Allah. Even now, the religion is being spread by fundamentalist Islamists, including Islamic clerics and political leaders, to achieve their fascist aspirations. Sanathana Dharma is the only dharma which calls for a unified humanity. It is the only true religion which has a loving God who wants humans to realize their innate divinity, whereas the Semitic concepts have a wrathful God who pushes people into hell for not following Him. Another huge misconception we Hindus uphold is that all religions are the same, that people of different religions call their gods differently, no religion preaches bad, that it is only some people who create problems for society and world in the name of religion. That's the most uninformed thing that one could say. You must judge a religion by weighing its concept of God and concept of life. And on examining Islam and other Semitic religions, it is their very concept of God itself that motivates humans to sin and kill and cause havoc in the name of their respective concept of gods. So, the reverse is true. Islam as an ideology is wrong, whereas some people who are born Muslims are still good humans.
The foremost thing we have to understand is that Islam isn't a race or ethnicity. It is simply the belief that Muhammad is a prophet and in the distorted concept of God that he imagined and created and labeled Allah and propagated in the 7th century Arabia. To be a Muslim means complete adherence to the Quran and recognized hadiths, which are full of absurdities, contradictions, and spiteful verses framed by Muhammad but claimed that it was told by the imaginary God Allah created by him in order to induce fear and adherence in innocent God-fearing people. Of course, people born into Muslim families can have varying degrees of adherence to Islam. Not everyone is a hardcore Islamist. Many people understand that the religion is a sham but can't leave the religion fearing social boycott and attack to property, loved ones, and themselves. Some of them boldly leave the religion while some of them convert into other religions whereas others revert to Sanathana Dharma. Can you change your race or ethnicity which is natural by birth? You can change your political or religious ideologies or worldview. So, people have to realize that Islam is merely a blind belief system organized as a religion by Muhammad for his selfish gains and not a race or ethnicity. When one stops believing in the Quran, hadiths, and Islam's obligatory beliefs and practices, one ceases to be a Muslim. To all the regressive pseudo-liberals and Islamists who say we can't say the truth about Islam, we will keep saying the truth that Islam is wrong and dangerous, Muhammad is not a prophet, and Allah is not a God. It is Sanatana Dharma which is the true religion and is eternal and ever existing.
All these and more we'll discuss in our series of videos. It was an interesting turn of events that brought me to AARSHAVIDYASAMAJAM. Within very few discussions with Acharya Shri K.R. Manojji and other teachers at AARSHAVIDYASAMAJAM, I was able to understand the fallacies of Islam and the greatness of my Swadharma, that is Sanatana Dharma. Initially, I thought that AARSHAVIDYASAMAJAM was an initiative at moral policing, but no, it's a unique institution which is beyond politics, beyond religion, beyond language, beyond gender, and promotes real Sanatana Dharma and calls for a globally unified humanity as per the motto Krinvanto Vishwamaryam. AARSHAVIDYASAMAJAM has been functioning for more than 23 years now, and till now we have been able to bring back more than 6,500 people, both women and men, young and old, who had either converted or inclined towards other ideologies. It was here that I learned that religious conversion is not an isolated few cases, but has been an issue in the past, continues to grow its tentacles in the present, and if unchecked could lead to a disastrous future. Kindly make generous donations to the construction of Vijnana Bharati International Study and Research Foundation and Asthana Mandira Paddhati, which is a joint project of Vijnana Bharati Educational and Charitable Society and AARSHAVIDYASAMAJAM, which is the center of hope for the society.